back on. So we're starting up a new webinar today. We're gonna go basically over everything that we covered throughout the week. A lot of good information went out this week. A lot of good content. A lot of the market outlook for the week as well played out how we wanted it to. So there's a few things that we are gonna go over as far as what did happen throughout the week, right? What pairs were we looking at? How did they play out? And obviously, the whole point of these webinars is for you guys to come in and ask all the questions you need to ask. Anything you're confused about, that's what we're here for. So let's just start. Let's just go ahead and go straight into it. Cool. So should we just start off with like, I know Steven, you may have like a question. You may have um, like what happened with you? So let's go over NZD CAD again. Let's go over exactly what we just covered.
That was my recent one, and then that was my last trade of like the week. So it was more like I was jumping in trades with my emotions, like with just straight up emotions, and I didn't sit back and just be patient and waited for certain areas to be tested.
Tell me exactly what your entry was.
On that one,
Yeah.
I was NGD CAD. Sorry,
Yeah.
I have it right here. On NZD CAD, I got in.
The cancer patients are gonna freak out when they realize Dr. Goodrow is actually Sammy wearing his face skin.
I got in at 84,079.
079. All right. Okay, so you got in literally right here on this consolidation right here. Is that what you're saying? Right here? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you said your stop loss was 10 pips, right? Negative 10 pips?
Yeah.
You went in at a buy?
I went in a buy, yeah.
Okay. So this was your stop loss. I would just say somewhere around here. All right. Okay, cool. So let's just let's go ahead and delete all this right here. Let's delete this that we had here. And this was your entry. So this is what you were looking at currently at the market, and you assumed that this was going to push up, which it did. It ended up pushing right back up. Plus, looks like you should have seen 20 pips in profit. What was your target?
Yeah, it was. Huh?
What was your target?
My target was at 84,379.
379. Oh, that was the very top of this market right here. Okay.
Yeah, around the area, yeah.
Okay, that was your take profit. All right, cool. So let's look at the bigger picture. Let's see exactly what the market is doing. All right, let's do this. Why do I have all these markups over here? Holy shit! All right. Anyway, so I mean, I think you had the right idea, and I think we definitely went over this earlier as soon as you came onto the call. Your biggest problem here with this trade was that you weren't patient with your trade. You weren't patient enough to wait for this to actually play out. This is the area you got in at. You got in way too late. Your entry should have been somewhere around this area, or at least like the last broken resistance off of this 1 hour time frame. Because again, remember, what we want to like keep in mind is that every time frame leading from a 4 hour to the monthly is considered a higher time frame. Anything below the 4 hours is considered a lower time frame. So really what we should be looking at is the higher time frames are your overall idea. Those are like your overall direction. That's what's going to give you the long-term setups. Anything below it should be your setups as to when you're going to get it on the market. So if you would have gotten in on the 1 hour time frame, your safest trade should have been as soon as you broke resistance right here. Okay, this should have been your actual entry point. As soon as you saw it break, that could have been the safest place. Maybe you could have scaled down a little bit lower and would have gotten in way lower. Your lowest point, like Victor always mentions, wait for the break of structure on lower time frames. Those lower time frames break of structures are super important, man, because these are the ones that are going to give you those entry points. You want to make sure this is what plays out, like your patience plays out too, man. And you even admitted to yourself that you had an impulsive entry. This was your impulsive entry. This entire area right here. This area right here, this was you being very impatient and having that fear of missing out sort of emotion. Okay, because you saw the setup. Now,
Yeah.
Had you just collected 20 pips, okay, you would have closed out in profit. You would have been fucking great. You wouldn't have blown your account.
I'll be,
You would have
I'll
been
be
good.
happy.
Yeah, you would have been happy. So for that, dude, like sometimes, man, you know, you have to be patient, bro. There's certain things that your technicals will allow you to see, right? If you already see that this big push to the upside, this entire move, right? You should be able to see
Yeah.
simple little things like even just a simple trend line, a simple momentum trend line like that. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean that on the 4 hour time frame you got in right here? So you definitely got in super late. Had you had your just a simple trend line, right? You would have seen that this would have been a nice setup. You would have waited for the market to pull down, gotten in right here, and then seen the market push right back up. There's all kinds of signs of the market pushing up at the moment. Okay, so there's no reason for you to think that you got in at the wrong side of the market. You got in at the right side of the market. You just weren't patient enough with the trade. You weren't patient enough with the market coming down and actually retesting these levels here. Um, and again, it's just as simple as a simple as trend line. That's it. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, had you had maybe a some sort of zone, something like this, right across, right there tells you should definitely be careful with this area because it got rejected multiple times here on to the left side. So right then and there tells you, hey, you know what? I should be patient with my trade. Instead of you getting in here, right, or getting in here at the green line, you should have just waited for the market to push down. But not only that, your stop loss was a little too tight, from my opinion. I mean, again, to each their own, but in my opinion, 10 pips is a little too tight. That's if you're absolutely 110% sure that this shit's gonna go your way and you're not gonna have any drawdown. It's not gonna go against you at all. That's the only way I would tell you a 10 pip stop loss is okay. But if that's not the case, I would shit. I mean, this is 97, right? I would drag it. I would probably even play with 87. 87 is 20 pips. You still would have gotten stopped out, but look at exactly how it came down to. It came down to literally right here. You wouldn't have been that much disappointed had you had the market come down here and stopped you out right here, and then you saw it return back around because your analysis was correct. Your analysis is right. I mean, I have this from the looks of it. I have it pushing right back up. But again, sometimes the markets you need to give it more room to breathe. Give it more room to breathe because they don't, especially when you get in late, dude. When you get in late, you have to give the markets room to breathe because it's bound to come back against you. Um, and again, I mean, I see your target. Your target, I don't blame you having your target all the way up here. That's fine. I mean, you're looking to catch. Your risk to reward was one. Your risk was one. You're risking 10 pips to get. Let's see. You're at 7 to get 20. No, wait. No, to get 30 pips. I mean, that's 1 to 3, dude. That's pretty good. But again, man, sometimes you got to let the markets play out, man. Give the market some room to breathe. And not only that, dude, your biggest mistake was getting in all the way up here. You should have gotten in either here or here, waited for the market to pull back.
So where he get in?
He got in right here at 8407. 8407.
8407. And where exactly?
Right here. This area, somewhere around here.
Okay, and you got in because I'm assuming the base that's highlighted
Yeah.
with engulfing or what's up? And did you short or you went long?
He went long.
I went long. I thought it was like, oh, it was building my new floor, and I thought it was gonna continue going up because I saw like in the previous, they already made it another floor in the left of that last circle you have in the left side. You see that circle? Right there in the left side, like in that consolidation area, more left.
But it did go up. It went to like 84.3.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. But
so you were in profit and you didn't close?
No, I wanted to get more pips than that. What I was trying to go for was it was a little bit higher. It didn't reach that. It didn't reach the point that I was trying to hit. And then it changed before it reached the area.
First
and it
off,
still hasn't hit my
First off,
you should have moved your stop loss to entry because you're already a couple pips in. I mean, you're already how many pips in at the end?
He would have been
that was 20 pips. That was almost 20 pips.
He would have been up 20 pips. Exactly.
Yeah,
20 pips.
you should have, dude. After you're in profit,
So you gotta move your stop loss to entry. That way, if you lose, I mean, it is what it is. But always remember that whenever it breaks structure, it's gonna retest that.
Yep.
If it's valid, it's gonna, it's gonna go your way. But if it's not valid, then it's gonna go down. So your entry just wasn't valid. I see what you were doing, but do you see the circle? Do you see the circle that's highlighted in Arial? That's
Yeah.
that's what we call the supply. And then it was a rally, and then the square that's highlighted, it's called a base. So you had a right there. So you had a rally, you created a base, and then a rally, and then a base. But once you start creating the other base, that's when you gotta see, oh shit, is it gonna go down or is it gonna go up? And that's when you gotta look at your setup. You gotta look at different time frames. If you were taking the string on the 1 hour time frame, I would have been looking at the what's monthly doing, what's weekly doing, what are we doing on the daily, and what's the 4 hour looking like for the past, for the past 8 hours. Okay, so you gotta double check all those. You can't don't go out, don't go in a trade just out of pure emotion, because what's gonna happen is it's not gonna go your way. Just base it off your TA. Like when you do your technical analysis, there's no emotion attached to your technical analysis. It's just your technical analysis. Does that make sense? Because there's no money involved. There's nothing involved. That's why your technical analysis is always correct, right? But when you get money involved, you get emotions involved, you get feelings involved, and nobody likes to see, something. Nobody likes to be wrong, but we can't be 100% right all of the time.
Yep.
That's what I tell you guys. I mean, I'm trying to get to the point where I set my trades and I forget about them. It's a set and forget type of deal. That's why I put my sell limits, my buy limits, and my stop losses and my take profits, and I just forget about them because I don't want to be looking. I don't want to be looking at the charts 24/7 unless I'm trying to scalp. If I couldn't find a right setup, then I'll go ahead and try to scalp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what like Victor's saying, as soon as you saw 20 pips, yeah, I tell you guys, we tell you guys that all the time, is move your stop loss to break even. See how your stop loss is down here? Move it a little bit above break even, right? So if it goes against you, it's okay, but you didn't lose any money. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes, man, again, and I mention this all the time. Like, wait, but what I wanted to ask you one thing. What was your lot size, and why did your lot size, wipe your account? Like, what kind of lot size did you use?
Oh, this is one of the many losses I had.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I told you, I got into a lot of very emotional trades this week. This week, my emotions fucked me. Excuse my language. I know record.
No, you're good.
It really went against me. My emotions was not. I told myself not to trade this week, and I didn't listen to myself. And I just forced, and then that's where I got really like.
I think it's about making. I don't think it's about not trading. I think it's about making the right decision when it comes down to getting into a trade itself. That's why I tell you guys that we gotta have a trading plan.
Yeah.
I think we sent one out for you guys. No, I mean, make sure you have that out whenever you're gonna whenever you start a trade. Make sure you have one out.
What we'll do, what me and Victor can do is we'll sit down this weekend, me and him, and we'll develop a trading plan so we can send it out to every one of you guys. Like something that me and him can be in accordance to, like we can agree on. That can be like, all right, if we see this happening, we're gonna get in. We're gonna wait for this to happen. Then this happens, and if this all lines up, we're getting into a trade because of this. Now, if we send that out, is because this is how we're viewing the markets and how we're getting into trades on its own, right? So that's the whole point. But yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I think my biggest thing here with this trade, man, is that for one, yeah, your stop loss was a little too tight. I think 10 pips is a little too tight. Unless you absolutely 100% sure that it is going to go your way, you're not going to have any drawdown, it's okay. But as soon as you saw 20 pips, you should have moved it to break even. If you see more than 20 pips, maybe 30, maybe 40 pips, now you can start moving this, 10 pips above your trade or 20 pips above your trade, right?
Yeah, you gotta put levels.
Yeah,
Remember.
you do. Yeah.
Always look to the left. Always look to the left to see what's going on. Like for example, you saw rejection. Here, move all the way to the left. Right? No. Where you had it on top. You have it around there. You see the rejection right here? Below that. Below that. to the left, to the right. Those two, the engulfing, the engulfing.
Yeah.
That's so. I mean, like you should always look to the left, and if you see right away there was a lot of rejection at around 84 300. So the sell, the Bears and the Bulls were gonna fight that line. So after you had passed this line, you could have moved your stop loss to 84 300. But at the moment, that should have been your first take profit, and you should have seen what kind of rejection was going to happen, and then looked if there was a breaking structure, and then made a decision whether or not to stay in the trade, and open another position, or to just close out and be content with the pips that you have.
Yeah.
You got to remember that not um, not every trade, bro. Not every trade is gonna be $100 or $1,000 trade. No matter, I don't know people what lot sizes you guys are using, but not every trade has to be a big trade. Not every trade has to be 100 pips.
Yep.
I mean, if you,
Yeah.
remember 10 pips go a long way, dude. If you do 5 trades per day, and you're doing, I don't know, you're doing, let's do 3 trades per day in 5 days a week. That's 20. If you're just catching, 10 pips, that's 200 pips. Let's say you're only winning 60% of the time. So I mean that you're still in profit. You're still, what's fucking 60% of that's 120, Whatever. I don't fucking know. I can't do the math right now. I lost train of thought. But either way, that's still like 120, 140 pips that you would have catched a whole week. Does that make sense? Don't focus.
Yeah.
Focus on the pips. And sometimes you get those trades that you get 100 pips, but sometimes they're 10, 20 pips. That should be, you should be good.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's why you kept it open, because you're like, oh shit, it went my way. Let's see how much more we can get. That's where the greediness comes in place. And I'm not trying to like single you out or anything. It happens to everybody.
Yep.
That shit's gonna happen to everybody, and this is not the last time that's gonna happen to you. But you just gotta make sure that you follow your technical analysis, because that's gonna be the most important part of anything, right?
Yeah.
And there's no emotion involved. You look at your computer, be like, oh shit. What you can do is set alerts when it hits, when it breaks your structure, when it gets to that area, and then that's when you go and look at the chart. Does that make sense? And then you wait,
Yeah.
look at the chart for a couple of minutes, look at all the time frame. Listen, even when I'm scalping, even when I'm taking a trade of the 515, when I'm taking a trade of the 5-15 minute break of structure, I still look at the daily, weekly, and monthly, because you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. Look at everything. Don't base it on just one time frame. Look at the whole picture. Understand what's going on. Look at the news. If you're scalping, like for example, I'm trying to get into the GBP. Well, I got into the GBP Canadian dollar, but I ended up closing out. I'm still in I was still in profit. It was only 20, 30 pips, but I know that the GBP, that the pound is pretty strong right now because of the news. And then tomorrow you have a lot of Canadian, the Prime Minister is going to talk about employment and all this shit. So I don't know if it's gonna make it weaker, and then it's gonna break, what my supply is at the moment. So you just gotta balance everything out. You gotta look at the news. You gotta know why you're getting in that trade. You gotta know what's happening in the weekly, what's happening on the monthly overall, and then look what's happening the past 24 hours. Look at your yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, and figure out what you can trade within that channel before it breaks. And once that breaks, wait for the retest and boom, get in.
Yeah. No, he's absolutely right, man. Like a lot of times, man, for me, to be honest with you, I don't know if you guys been seeing my trades, but sometimes I post my profits as well. Dude, I just catch, I'm okay with catching 20, 30 pips, bro. Like I'm cool with that. Like I don't have to catch every single trade fucking, 50 plus, 100 plus pips like that. You know what I mean? Like, especially with the size of trading, you can have multiple losses. You can have like 5 losses in a row, but it takes that one profitable trade that's going to overcome all those losses. So you gotta, you gotta like how would I say it? Um, you just gotta make sure you shit you're on top of your shit, man. Like, don't be discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Now, one thing that I would definitely like again suggest is I don't know if I would suggest like pulling going right back in with live money. I would say take a step back, get back on your demo shit. Honestly, dude, demo is not bad, dude. You have to get on your shit. You gotta know what you gotta be looking for, because once you start playing with live, dude, live ain't a joke. You're playing with real money.
There's no emotions involved with demo, man.
I know, I
That's
know,
one thing.
but
Like me and you, I get it. Demo's really important because it gives you confidence.
yeah,
But I feel like it's do you guys know what a placebo effect is?
nah.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so whatever. To explain to the people that don't know, a placebo effect is like, let's say they do a test study, right? And let's say it's fuck, I don't know. You get like you have a disease, right? Like some mental disease, like whatever. I don't know what I'm going with this. You have they give you two pills, like a weight loss thing. Let's go with a weight loss thing, with a weight loss pill. They gave you one that works and one that's sugar to see what happens. And like 80% of the time, it's a really high good psychological evaluation. 80% of the time, even the people with with the placebo pill, with the fake pill, they they think that they lost weight because of the actual pill, but it was mostly psychological. So when I say, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It's probably, I mean, it was a good like metaphor, but then it went like to shit because I didn't explain it. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that that demo is like a placebo. It gives you this
But
space of confidence, which is, I'm not saying it's bad. It's great to be confident, but what I recommend instead is don't put five, don't put 1,000, don't put $2,000 into your account. Wait it out, dude. Listen, put $100 in your account. Put $100 in your account and learn to educate yourself on your lot sizes.
Yeah.
Go start with like 0.01 and then grow it. Grow your account. Again, if you're catching 10 pips, 20 pips a day, that's 100 pips per week. On a point one, within a month, you'll have $200, $300, $400. And then little by little, you start increasing your pips. 0.02, 0.03, until you get to like 0.10. Once you're 0.10, you do 0.20, 0.30, to 40, 50. Like you start building that confidence. And because it's real money, you're like, oh shit, that's awesome. I'm getting the hang of it. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's not nothing against demo trading, but you just gotta make sure that you don't get this. You gotta get the feel for it because
Yeah.
it's a very emotional line of work. You
It's
know,
like it's like when I yeah,
you know?
it's like when I tell you guys, man, like, bro, you got, try out the 50 pip, the 50 trade, bro. Like, try it out. 0.01s. Bro, I'm telling you, they help you, because as soon as you're done with that, it should be able to translate the same exact way if you were to just jump up to a 0.10 or 0.20 or 0.30. Bro, it's the same emotion. You're trading with real money. I agree with Victor. The demo part, it's kind of like you're going back to just, you can blow multiple demo accounts and no one gives a shit. You don't give a shit because you just start a new one. But bro, I know sometimes you're like you really want to get in on a trade and you think, oh yeah, it's definitely gonna go my way. I'm gonna drop a one lot, right? And then, five trades on one lot, so you blow your account. Obviously, bro, your risk management's all over the place. Um, but if you want to work on your confidence, you want to work on your accuracy, bro. Trust me, do it. One of the students already did it. He's killing it right now. Like he fucking he and those 50 trades is not going to take you any longer than maybe what, like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. But bro, it teaches you discipline. It teaches you patience. It teaches you your accuracy. You're going to get better at being accurate. You're going to be confident. Bro, trust me, do it. That's my biggest suggestion for you if you're going to be depositing more money. Um,
For
don't
sure.
go into another trade with a one lot or a point 0.50 thinking like, oh, I'm gonna make everything back that I've lost. Think about this as like, this is how you learn, man. This is how you're learning. This is how you're gonna get better. You know what I mean? Like, dude, honestly, back in December of this year, or no, not back in January of this year, dude. Like I took a step back, dude. I wasn't trading no big lot sizes like how I do now. I was trading fucking 0.05, 0.10s. I wanted to work on my accuracy, bro. I wanted to get this shit down. And then as soon as I started like seeing the results, and I was like, all right, you know what, man, like instead of me putting in these sort of like trade lots or whatever, dude, like I'm just gonna drop some big lots and see how it goes. Sure enough, man, like I've been doing pretty good, dude. I haven't not to like talk shit, not to like show off or anything like that, because I'm not that kind of person. You guys know that, but I haven't had to deposit since January of last year, like of this year. My bad. I haven't had to deposit
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? So like, that's a good thing, dude. If you don't have to deposit, that's a fucking good thing, bro. Um, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to take a step back, bro. Take a step back. Be real with yourself, man. Like, how bad do you really want this? If you want it that bad, you're gonna take the opportunity to just learn all over again. Learn it all over again, bro. Like, trust me. I mean, we're working on this, man. Like me and Victor, we want to put this shit out, but we want to make sure it's like perfect, dude. Like this course, so you guys can go back to whenever you want. But these webinars hopefully have been helping out, or at least the last one did. I know I got a lot of good feedback on it. Um, there's a lot of good points covered there too. And obviously, the market outlook is only going to help you guys out to see what pairs we're looking at, right? So, which I do want to go over some in a few moments. But do you understand kind of where you went wrong here, Steven? Like, do you understand, what was your problem, like getting in here rather than waiting for it to play out and getting in down here? You know what I mean?
My patience, yeah.
Yeah, your patience. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's
that's
exactly it.
that's it. That's exactly what I have to develop. That's something honestly. Like I told myself, like I have to work on my patience because I get very frustrated. I get in a trade and I'm like, fine, what the fuck? Like, why is it not going my way? And then after that, either I cash on myself or here's my stop loss, and then after that it goes my way, and I'm like, why? Only if I waited a little bit longer, if I had that patience, I would have been fine.
Yeah,
Everything would have been fine. But you also, like you said, I had to give the market room to breathe on my trades because, and then like you said, like right now you gotta be breaking even if I let it breathe and then catch the big move that I was waiting for.
imagine
See if
imagine
I'll
if
just
you would have gotten in right down here. I would say let's look at the 15-minute real quick. Imagine would have gotten in as soon as you would have had your breaker structure, your minor breaker structure, right? And then your 10 pip stop loss that you would have had anyway. That's 90. So let's look at 80. Um, 80 right here.
around there, right there,
Right
yeah.
here, 83.83. You would have gotten in right here. As soon as you saw the break, you would have gotten in. Boom. Did you see any drawdown anywhere? This is
Nah,
the only time I tell you, all right, this is cool. 10 pip stop loss is fine. That's all right because there's no draw. You didn't have a single drawdown, bro. Like not at all. Like no negative, nothing. And if you would have kept your trade open, now you would have caught definitely 30 plus pips, and your target would have been hit because that was your original target was 30 pips to you know, so you would have been good. But that comes with your patience, man. Like that is your patience. You would have waited for this to happen. Even right now, if you would have seen the entire market play out, right? Your break here on this setup right here, I would say as soon as you see this break of this resistance area and this as soon as it took off, you would have had a retest and then it would have took off again. But I think this is still a safe play. That is 96. You would have had your stop loss 86 right here. You would have gotten in as soon as you saw this happening. You would have seen a little bit of drawdown, maybe negative 5 pips, but that's it. And your stop loss would have still been great. Um, but that's your patience, man. That really comes up to you. Like, how patient are you? There's a lot of things that you do, man, in the markets. You study what times you're looking at the charts. You study, what currencies move at what time. Me and Victor talk about it all the time. GBP moves as soon as London session or before London session. It moves a certain direction. After 2-3 hours after London session or kind of getting close to New York session, it does the complete opposite. All these currencies do the same
yeah.
exact thing. You just have to understand which ones you're going to be looking at, which ones you want to study, so that you and that currency can be in tune. You know what I mean? You and the currency can be like one. You know what I mean? Like you understand it. You speak fluent. GBP, for example. We speak fluent GBP. I feel like I'm getting there. So is Victor. You know what I mean? Like USD JPY, I feel like I understand it. You know what I mean? But that's again, that comes
Yeah.
with time. When you're trading NZD CAD, for example, I don't look at this pair at all,
And neither
but
do I.
I wouldn't know how, what's the best time to trade it. Would it
And
be?
that would have been the worst pair to look at this week too. So I don't blame you. It's
Yeah,
tough. That pair's tough. NCD was really strong. Canadian was really strong.
yeah.
Like I mean, it looks like if you look, I mean, looking at the bigger picture, it looks like it was going through channels. Go to the like 4 hour, see what it did. Yeah, see, it was a channel. It was boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was never a higher high. It never broke this high. It never
But
broke the low.
it never made never made lows. It was making
Uh-huh.
highs. You have you have a high, 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 and it was making new highs, but it wasn't making any new lows. You had your last low right around this area, never came down. So yeah, I mean, I would still have the same idea of this pushing up higher, but again, it came down to your patience. You had the right analysis. Your patience just wasn't there.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
and that's
yeah,
something that I'm not gonna lie, I do have issues sometimes. Is like I it's jumping like I have my analysis, but it's like knowing when exactly that move is gonna happen. Because there's times like I'm like, oh, like example GBNZD, I'll look at it and then I'm like, oh, okay, like it's gonna go down.
all right. Well,
It's gonna go down,
let me
and
stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Then why are you trading this pair?
huh?
Then why are you trading this pair?
That's it.
Yeah,
Because
why are you trading it?
I was looking at this one this week though. Like I was looking at it like right there in the bottom of that left, like that black arrow you have, holding left, more down, more down, more down. I was looking at it around that area a little bit before that, and I was like, oh shit, this is going up. And then I saw that whole thing skyrocket earlier this week. So then I just been like, it got my interest. So
Yeah.
I've been looking at it on and off this week. So like I've been trying like get to learn this pair a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's cool, man. But
I found
sometimes,
it interesting
yeah,
because it was moving really well with GBNZD. Like when GBNZD was going down,
yeah,
NZD CAD was going up, and then vice versa. When it was going GBNZD was going down, going up. This was going down. So like that caught my interest until yesterday.
yeah. No, I get it. And I wasn't trying to like be rude or anything like that. But like, what I'm trying to get to is if you understand other pairs, why are you like scratching your head over this pair? You know what I mean? Like, why are you scratching your head over this pair when you have more obvious moves? Like Victor said, there's a lot of consolidation. There's a lot of sideways movement. So this will throw you off for sure. Like, this looks pretty tough to trade. But if you were to look at GPNZD, like, these are obvious ass moves. Look at this. Like, this shit just kept falling, right? Now, what happened
Yeah.
today, I'm sure Victor can explain it a little more because it's more of like on like the fundamental side. But um, this big jump right here, this floor, this support level was being maintained for multiple hours. So I mean, seeing this can be predicted. Like this can, you know what I mean? Like as soon as the news hit, you could have been like, you know what? I don't see it breaking this floor. I see it going right back up. But the entire time going down, I wasn't scratching my head on this whole entire move going down. This was a little more obvious to me. If something is not if something is not clear, I'm not gonna waste my time trading it. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, listen.
Look for pairs that are just where you can make your money easy, bro. Like don't scratch your head on a pair that you just doesn't make sense to you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But anyway, did we cover what you were confused about on like NZD CAD?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yo, Mario, hey, what up, man?
Hey, what up?
Hey, what's up, bro? Yo, you got any questions this week? Anything that you're probably a little confused about? Anything like that?
Nah, I'm straight.
What pairs did you look at?
Same as always, USD JPY, USD CAD, and US 30.
Oh, you get the fuck out of here. You looking at US 30?
Bro, I've been for like 3 months now.
Oh, shut the fuck up. God
Bro,
damn.
I told you.
Right on. All right.
Wait, are you trading it?
No, I just been studying it. No,
Oh,
I haven't been trading
I
it.
don't. Yeah, I don't even trade that, dude. That's
Yeah, I just like looking at it, how it moves and everything.
Yeah. Damn.
So
Crazy, bro.
USD CAD and USD JPY, right?
Yeah.
Have you actually been trading them, or you just been like?
Nah.
You've been studying
I
them
just
too.
been studying them.
Oh, okay, word. All right, so let's go ahead and cover real quick. I know a lot of people. What was like a heavily traded pair this week? It was like GBP NZD, right? We talked about that pretty much all
Yeah.
week. Yeah. So I'm still sticking to my bias here. I think that yeah, we definitely had it. I had it coming back. Like my overall target was target number 2, but my target 1 did get hit, which was great. And then after that, I had it pushing up. So whether if I would have either had target 1 hitting and then rejecting target 1 and then going up, it was still right. Like because it's still the right prediction. I just had it pushing down a little bit lower. So GBPNZD, again, I think we started watching it right around this area. I think it was somewhere around here when it was pushing up on Sunday. Then the market decided to tank, and sure enough, it hit target number 1. So this is great. If you guys look back at the market outlook, you'll see that that was actually the prediction. The prediction was the market was going to push down, get down to target 1, and then go up from there. GBPJPY was another one. Same prediction, was it hitting target number 1. It did that the first day. I think it was chilling around this area, it was consolidating, and then it finally came all the way down to target number 2. Which, if you see on the left side, we always tell you guys look left, right? Look for an important level around this area here, and sure enough, we rejected this area here on.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
It rejected this level of resistance, which acted as support, and that was our target number 2 according to the market outlook. You guys understand this big zone comes from our monthly. This is the monthly right here. You see how it got rejected another time. So this was the idea. We understand that that the market was going to push up out of one of these areas here. So that's exactly what it did. So again, whether you would have gotten caught up in the news, this is the news. This is exactly what happened. Hey, what up, Cray? Why'd you peek your head and shit? What up, man?
Hey.
What up?
That's good.
Yo, hey, everyone, that's Corey. We're gonna add him to the group. He's like one of the first students that came in. He never got added to the group because he never sent me his damn number. But we added him. So go.
Everybody should have taken this trade though. The
Victor.
the GJ.
You remember him?
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
What's
Messi
up, dude?
Victor.
Damn,
1988.
what up, dog?
What's good, bro?
Chilling, man.
Yo, hey guys, this is
You used to sing. You still singing or what?
Yeah.
Dope, dude.
yeah, dude, Corey was the reason I got into Forex.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's the reason I got in. Because I needed a PC for Twitch. So I needed a PC for Twitch, and I had $1,000 to invest into something, and I invested in a fucking computer instead of Bitcoin at the time, which was $900. But anyway.
Wait. Say that again.
So all right. So when I hit up Corey that I needed a PC, and then he told me about Bitcoin, but I didn't know what Bitcoin was, and it was at $900, bro. And instead of investing in Bitcoin, I had $1,000. I invested in a fucking PC that is chilling under my desk right now.
Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway.
Wow, dude, you're wild.
But yeah, because of Corey, I'm actually in Forex at the moment, which is great, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah.
Isn't you still talk to Marquise?
No.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
I think Marquise is in Forex, no? Or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I
I'm
think.
I'm the same reason why he's in Forex.
Oh yeah.
But he just been fake.
Listen, dude, that Forex shit, dude. Everybody. I mean, it's very like everybody on Instagram is very, very tough to get like somebody that's actually like legit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people be showing you their demo account. You never see that it's real.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people flexing for the gram. It's bound to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
It's until you have people, that you teach and students, and if they start showing results, that's when you know you're like, oh shit, okay, maybe these people are legit.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how good you are. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are and how much money you're making. If you can't teach and show somebody else how to eat from what you're eating, then, you know, what's the cost? You know, what's your purpose?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yep.
But Dude, going back to the GJ, everybody should have taken that trade, dude. I fucking sent
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, he did. I did
Yeah,
see it. It's going
exactly.
this trade right here, like this big push. This was news. News hit this morning, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Crazy.
so
So
this is
remember last night I told you guys to like went to the fucking comedy show, so I didn't do the breakdown.
yeah.
I mean overall it
Hey,
went my way, but
what's that? 300 pips?
I think that's starting from right here, which yeah, 300
What?
plus.
God
crazy.
damn.
Yeah.
Everybody should have catched that bitch. I mean, you wouldn't have catched it 300. You would have catched like 200
Yeah.
when it broke structure of the one I sent. But man, that's still good. But right now we're looking at too short. We'll see how it goes, how it behaves.
Yep.
The yen is the yen is in a downtrend right now. GBP strong, so maybe we don't short, but around 135, 200 would be the next one.
Yeah, and again, guys, like it's this simple. Like honestly, don't overcomplicate things. Like if you see the market again, how Victor said, look left. You look left, you see a strong level of resistance, right? And it came down all the way down, rejected that support, once, twice, and then this morning, as soon as it came right back down, you should be on lower time frames to get in at the perfect entry. Wait for that minor break of structure, and then get in, right? That's the whole point. So just this simple zone tells you, bro, look at the fucking market. Look what it's about to do. As soon as the market hit, as soon as the news hit, this shit got rejected and went right back up. So it's like simple things like that, man. Like I missed this move. Honestly, I missed it. I wasn't even looking at it.
Yeah, I told you, bro. Last night too.
Yeah, I know I missed it. But
all the GBP pairs, man.
I got in on CAD CHF. That one played out, but
Oof, yeah.
but GBP JPY missed out on that for sure. And all GBP pairs, to be honest with you. So.
It happens.
Yup.
There'll be more moves.
Yeah, you can't catch everything.
Yeah, you can catch everything. I mean, maybe you can. Use this 24/7. Hell yeah. That's the goal, man.
Yep.
That's the goal. Next year, dude.
Next
For
year,
sure.
man.
Yeah. There's a lot of You notice that the markets were like super slow the week before. I mean, obviously it was NFP, and then I think I didn't trade on Monday. I think I got into like one trade because it was just the market was so slow, and then boom today, and like everything just moved out of nowhere.
I want to see some real quick. Let me look at the market outlook real quick. I want to compare really quick. Let me see exactly what.
Next week we have a lot. We have a lot of setups coming into play. UJ short, USHAP short.
All right, look, we're looking at GBP JPY right here, right? This was on Sunday, so it looks like GBP AUD. My bad. So I mean, I kind of had it. I had it coming down to the first level of support here, but now it looks like it actually came down to where's it at? Oh my God, hold on. There you go. Looks like it came all the way down to that second level, right? Which if you see the market outlook, there's that second line right there. I think in this video I stated it was going to come down to either one of these levels before it went right back up. And sure enough, man, like it actually played out. So just having that, a simple as trend line and a momentum trend line, a few levels that were identified as strong support, right? The market likes to come back to these areas of old resistance acting as new support. And me and Victor rave about it all the time, is the impulsive moves, which is like those rally base, right? Supply and demand, all of that taken into account can lead us to these sort of setups and these trades to take a buy, an opportunity to take a buy around this area here. So had you had like your setups marked up, dude, man, these trades should have been cake for you guys to get in and out. Like, even these sells, like on the way down, like understanding everything, having everything marked up. Looks like on the weekly, this is like our overall target, the weekly, getting all the way up here. This would be our second target. But we've been stuck in this really strong trend line based off of the monthly. Yeah, the monthly. And you can see it being rejected multiple times. So this gives us signs of it continuing to go up. Our larger target can potentially be the start of this impulse right here.
Mm.
Yep.
You see
I
it?
would be. I think it's safe to say that right now, with the pound being as strong as it is,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna meet that monthly supply again. The
Yeah.
two. That would be your. I believe it's like what. You have it a monthly one, two, three.
Yeah, it's a monthly
It's like a yearly
sort of
all time
setup.
high, which is the two. So that's a strong. That's a. Those are the good trades. That's gonna be a low risk, high reward type of trade.
Yeah.
So around two, possibly short around two and uh, 2 and 5 cents, depending how the GBP varies. The GBP is going to be strong until I don't know if it's the 31st of this month or the 31st of next month when the Brexit deal is going to happen. But remember, Brexit just means that the British are not going to be part of the European Union, which makes the sterling go up and the euro go down.
Yeah. I agree.
So for that matter, you can until any other news comes out about Brexit or
This fool.
any like high impact news about the sterling, you can expect the euro to be down and consolidating, and the GBP to go up.
Yeah, I agree. I feel GP is definitely going to go up, push up higher. Not only that, but if you notice on the monthly, he's not making any new lows. He's making new highs. So as
Mm-hmm.
long as we make new highs and maintaining our floors, right, our support levels as we go up, we're still under same bias. So overall, I agree with Victor. I think this will push up to this level here, which can be our overall target.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see our style. Let's go put in target. Shit.
But I
Monthly.
mean, there's still a lot of opportunity
Oh yeah,
to take profits between here and there because that's going to take some time.
that is going to take some time.
It would take a huge impulse in the market to reach that within a month, you know. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of consolidation, a lot of rallies, a lot of bases made, but eventually it'll put up to that. Let's see, this is a GA. Like if you want to do like a quick intraday, I mean it happened today, but I had it. I don't know if anybody took it from where I sent it to short like around 84. If you did, you would be in profit.
Yeah, I don't. I think. What do you say about GBPAUD tonight? You think
Oh
it's
You
man,
coming
never
up?
know. You never know because it could be pushed up more after the news. And
Yeah.
sometimes they push it up more. So you just never know.
let me see. This is what I have here. Put my my screen on real quick.
Gotcha. Hey, what up, friends?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man.
So this is what I had, and
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
Oh yeah, nice,
I think
nice.
that's what I sent you.
Yep.
I sent this on Monday, no? So that's I mean, look, it played out exactly like we said because of the news. I didn't know it was gonna be such a huge impulse, right? But I mean, it worked out. And if you had a sell limit here, like I mentioned here, once you saw the break of structure, then you would have been good. 4 hour down. Um, for tonight, let me get rid of that. I mean, the overall move, right? This would be the last low that you really want to break, but I mean, that's because I'm swinging. So you guys wouldn't use it for tonight. For the time being, what I would say is see what happens here, right? Because that's where you rally, right? And then right here, if you go to a lower time frame, there was a base created. So let's go to a lower time frame, 1 hour. That's a rally. Let's do 15 minutes. So let's do exactly. Let's do right here. let's see what happens. Well, actually, let's do it here, because this will be, this engulfing would be considered a base. So let's get rid of this. So if you really wanted to take a trade for this, I would say wait to see what happens, because we're already too late. I mean, we should, if you were taking this trade earlier, your entry would have been around here, right? As soon as you saw this happening, this candle right here. So you have the engulfing, you have an engulfing bearish pattern, you have the doji, and then you have your hammerhead. And as soon as you saw that rejection, boom, you should have had that entry. And I'm sure if you scale down to a lower time frame, you see it clear as day. For the time being, I think it's a little too late to short it, because you don't know what could happen. And it's not, I mean, the risk to reward ratio, it's not a lot, I mean, if you were to short it, it's, I mean, yeah, it's not even worth it.
No, it's not worth it.
Okay? So see what happens here. I do believe that, you're gonna have a lot of scalpers. They're gonna take this trade, right? And there's gonna be some rejection happening here. Wait for a break of structure. See what's gonna happen. Let's see. You're looking for, obviously it's gonna go like that, right? It's either gonna create bases, right? I'm sure it's gonna create a base. Wait for a break of a huge Marbuso candle, right? Like this. And this would be your like Marbuso, like this is a Marbuso candle right here. So wait for something like that to break structure, and then another engulfing. And that's when you know, okay, cool. You see this, so you can go ahead and your entry be there. But what I think is gonna happen is if you don't see the Marbuso, right, and then you just see like candles coming down here, and then it goes up, wait for another Marbuso, and then you can go ahead and buy from here to like around here, because that's, and then a channel is going to be created until either this supply is broken, which I highly doubt for the time being, unless AUD comes to like some shady news. I haven't checked Forex Factory, but I can buy from here to here. I mean, that's a quick stop, or wait for the rejection, wait for the retest, and if it breaks, then you can, it'll be safe to say to trade your first TP can be around here, right?
Hey, so for the first idea, if you're looking for a sell, the other case is like break that line and retesting the line like a roof, and that way, or we can just expecting like two bearish candle.
Yeah, I mean, you potentially, like I said, you can do that. I mean, I'm going up the 4 hour. That's strong. Everybody sees that. It's very it's everybody can see that. Everybody, like every trader can see that there was some type of rejection and retest happening here. So there are gonna be some orders here. But I mean, this is the overall move. This right here. However, with what we talked about with the sterling being so strong, I think we can expect it to hit this other time, the 188, 189. Overall, though, I mean, overall it has to hit the 189.
Hey, I have a question. How you pick that two lines on top?
Which one? Show me.
That one. Yeah, how you pick that one's
these right here
as a target?
Yes. Yeah, as a target. How you pick it up?
It's the start of an impulse.
So mostly, so let's do something. I think I have all of these marked up. Let's do, I don't have this one marked up, I think. So let's say, so it's a daily, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll show you real quick. Like if I was scalping, I would do this. So this was our last, so we're trying to break this, right? This was the last down. So we're trying to break this, right? So then I'll go ahead and scale to 4 hours.
4 hours.
Right? And I see, I do the same thing. Let's say I'm right. I mean, I wouldn't take this because this is already 50%. You see from here to here. If
yeah, it's on the middle.
You don't even know. You don't know if it's going to continue to go up or continue to go down. I mean, I think because of what you're looking for, what you're looking at, you see how this candle right here broke this area here. So you see the area right here? You see how this candle broke that? Look.
Yeah, it showed like it's going up.
So you see this right here? You see how it broke it tested it, and then it went up? So that would be one that I think it's going to continue to go up and then before it comes down. But again, it's too risky. It's not within my trading plan, so I wouldn't trade. But let's say if I want to take a trade here,
Yeah,
we already
like
know
selling.
yesterday's high, yesterday's low, right? And then what we're gonna do now is look at the 4 hour one, right? So here would have been here's one, like what we talked about, right? And then you see how right here there was a drop, base, drop, right? And then you have rally, base, drop. Okay. So you look at the base, right? And again, that's another one. That's another one, right? So we'll go ahead and drop to the 1 hour.
Okay.
So let's do this.
Let's see right here. Yeah, the rally.
So right here, right? This whole thing is a base, right? And then this whole thing is a base, right? So I mean, I would change these. I would change these a different color, just so I know, right? Get rid of this. Get rid of this. And let's say it was gonna come up here. This will be my first take profit, right? And once there was a broken structure and it continued, once there was a broken structure, it's either gonna retest and go back up to here, or it's gonna break structure and go down to here. Once this is touched, right? Because my entry is gonna be around 10. Once this is touched, my stop loss is gonna move here, right? Is everybody following? So let's say right now my stop loss will be around here, right? I look at this. So this was yesterday's high. I look at the previous high, which is around here. So that's me giving the market room to grow, right? It has to breathe. So just in case my projection is wrong.
So that stop loss can be bigger than 20 pips?
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on your lot size and your risk and reward ratio. Okay? That's what it's going to come down to. For me, that's what I would do, right? And then I would based on the pips that was going to be, which is around 30, I would go ahead and do a smaller lot size. You know, I would
okay, I got it.
Just depending, how much are you willing to lose? You only invest what you're willing to lose. Okay. So, but let's say you get into an entry, right? You get into an entry, boom, it breaks structure, it touches, boom, you get into an entry here, right? And then you're here.
Wait, Victor, hold up. Because you keep saying break a structure. So like elaborate a little bit on that. Do you mean like on the lower time frames, or do you mean that on the higher time frames? Because right now, if you see
No, because at the end of this, so this is 4 hour, right? The yellow one's 4 hour. This is the daily. So it really doesn't matter what time frame. Obviously, you're the shorter the time frame, right? The best breaker structure that you're gonna get, because so you see that. So for example, you see how it broke structure here. This is the break of structure, right? That's what you were looking for. So you can it will be
like break and pull back.
Yeah, the pullback on the retest you could have gotten in, and that's already some tip. At the end of the day, let's say if I was to do that, right? If I was to do that and you drop to a lower time frame, right? I mean your higher time frame, which is 4 hours, you could see that you would have gotten in at a decent. It's around here. You would have gotten in at a decent, like what we call sniper entries, right? I mean, obviously this is just a quick thing. We're doing this is like if you're scalping. So let's go back to the 1 hour. So remember, you're trading. This is your channel, and so this channel is broken. you're gonna trade you're gonna trade within again within the 50 the 50% region. So I don't short or I don't wait. But let's say it comes up to here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait because it's gonna come up to here, right? We're gonna have some.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wait until either it breaks like this, and then I go long, right? Because once it breaks like that, and then you get another one, you're gonna get boom, boom, and then boom for sure. So once you get this, that's when you can always come back in. That's if you were gonna.
That's gonna be the entrance when he break the roof and retesting like
Yeah.
a floor.
Yeah, but right now we're predicting it to go short. So what you're
Yeah,
looking
that's a prediction for the future.
for this, right? To do this,
Mhm.
right? And then boom,
Retesting.
boom, retest.
Okay.
On the retest, you wait for the Marbuso and you get in, right?
Yes.
So
Mhm.
this right here is the entry.
Entries.
We're
Okay.
gonna come
Yeah.
back,
So
boom,
what's
boom,
the yellow line in the middle?
So this yellow line is the 4 hour high from yesterday. Okay. So this is the yesterday's high.
So in
Yesterday's
that case, that's gonna be the first target in the selling
yeah.
on
So,
top.
so once this is
Okay.
this is my entry, right? This
Mhm.
is my
First
entry.
target, second target.
So this is my first target,
Mhm.
right? So this is my first target, right?
Second
As soon
target.
as this is hit, my stop loss comes to here. And then
Okay.
I see what happens. It's either gonna go up
Up.
again to test, right? And at some point you see here it will be another like a retest or it's gonna break structure. So what happened here is gonna happen here again, right? And once this is touched, right? If this is touched right here, this is touched, then my my stop loss.
It's gonna go to target one.
My stop loss is gonna get moved to here, and etc. And that's how you keep moving. And then once it's here, if you want, you can open another position around here because you know it's gonna hit here. And once that happens, you keep doing the same thing. It's just repetitive, right? It's what works for you. But you always wait for break of structure, and it doesn't. I mean, I do it on the lower time frames for an entry, but I always be look if I'm scalping, I look at the 1 hour, right? Like for example, you see how right here it broke structure, and then it came back tested. Say you wanted to buy, your entry would be around here because you would have gotten in on like the 15-minute mark, and it would have been, say, it would have been more. You see this? It would have been more reasonable. So let's say you would have gotten in here, right? And then you would have been in profit, and then you see what's happening. I wouldn't move. My stop loss would be below this, right? Because that's the last high. That's the last level, sorry. So my stop loss would be right around here. Once it starts coming around this level, I would be like, oh shit, more than likely it's not gonna go my way, right? But just in case you give it room to breathe, it will be around here. And then you look at you go back to the 1 hour and see what's happening. And I don't move this stop loss to here until it touches here, right? I'm still taking the L unless this candle's come and touch here. Then I can come over here, move my stop loss, and this is for me to be even, just so I don't lose any money, correct? And I see what happens here. If it breaks, then good shit. You know, if it broke, I'm gonna wait until like it's 50% from here to here for me to move my stop loss to be in profit, right? Does that make sense? You guys following?
Yes, it makes sense. Yeah.
I wouldn't move it to take profit one until it's 50% there, okay?
So we like that's gonna be.
You can always take some profit.
That's gonna be the same. Like for example, if the first target is 20 pips, you're waiting for 20 pips to go move the stop loss to
Break even.
entrance.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
after 40, when you have 40, you move into 20. When you have 60, you move into 40, and you keep going until he closed your trade. That's what you try. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Another way to
Every
maintain
20.
your trades to maintain your trades, as far as like if you're in a buy or in a sell, if you're in a buy,
Mhm.
as long as the 4 hour time frame is keeping is making floors on the way up, you're still good. So as long as, again, as long as you don't have that transition on the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame is like your last time frame where you can have that transition. Now, as
Okay.
long as that happens, which for example, let me keep that chart there, Victor. I'm gonna break it down on the 4 hour real quick.
Yeah.
I got you. Hold up, I can annotate real quick. All right.
Yeah, because
So
it's on the
check this out.
uptrend right now.
Check this out. On the 4 hour time frame, you broke structure right here. You see that?
Hmm?
You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that red? All right, I'm gonna go with red. Right here, this is your break because you had your last
Mhm.
lower high right here,
Yep.
and you had your last
Mhm.
lower low. Now the market pushed up higher, right? And it created a higher high.
Re- and retesting.
And it came down, retested. So the market,
Mhm.
in between these two levels, you have this support. You have you currently have this level here, this support level
Mhm.
here. The market can do whatever it wants to do in between these two levels. Okay?
Okay.
So the market, this push, let me go ahead and delete that. This push, when it came down, it was just a big steep retracement. Which, if you zoom
Mhm.
in, you can see that there's an actual shit. My bad. Let me you can see let me see. Zoom in real quick to that area where that black line is at, Victor.
Yeah, look, it was right here.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get to this point right here. This line right
This,
here. You see this support level or resistance level right there?
yeah.
Okay. So we understand we understand again that we have our new high and our last low. You see these two
Okay.
levels here? So the market
Yep.
could do whatever it wants to do in between these two levels. Now the market came down to this exact level right here.
Mhm.
Okay? Now as soon as you saw this happen, you're already in a
You can
bullish.
entrance. You can
Yeah,
yeah. You can
you're
go.
already
You
on
can
a
go on the buy.
bullish. You're already on a bullish sort of transition, and this is on the 4 hour
And
time
this
frame.
and the
Now,
other and the last line on top can be another entrance. The
yeah,
ones that he
absolutely.
after he break and retesting
So
another entrance right there.
that's another position that you can open.
So this,
You
Yep.
so
That's usually. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so as soon as the market found floors on the 4 hour time frame,
Mhm.
none of these were broken. These were fake outs. This right here was a fake out. So as long as
Mhm.
these floors are maintained, you are still good to continue your trades long term. This is how you're going to swing your trade as long as there's no transition on the 4 hour time frame. That is a last time frame where you can have that transition happen. Now, the way you can get in on lower time frames to get in on those entries, like for example here, here,
Mhm.
here.
And there,
Now,
yeah, like three.
now you're on the 5 minute, you're on the 15 minute, 30 minute, and the 1 hour is the last time frame where you look for those same exact transitions like it just happened here. What
Mhm.
you need to see this happen. You need to see on lower time frames, you're gonna see a minor downtrend, right? Until you get your last lower high, your last lower low, and as soon as you get that transition, that minor break of structure, now you just made those transitions from a 5 minute to a 1 hour. Now, when you see this happen on the 1 hour, you need to see this happen on the 4 hour. As soon as the 4 hour happens, you're long term on these trades. These are long term trades. That's how you maintain your trades. You can move your stop losses to break even as long as you're
So
making floors.
the transition gotta be in all of the time frames, like in 15 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hours.
Yeah, you can get in on an entry on the 5 minute. That could be
Mhm.
like your scalping, like Victor says. That can be your scalping. But if everything is lining up to the 1 hour, now you know that you're in the right trade. Now keep in mind that you have some big zone right here. You have a lot of confirmations where you have like a trend line down here, a channel, something that lines up. Dude, you have all kinds of you understand, you know what this means when the market came down to this level right here. Okay? When the market,
Sometimes your scalping can turn into swing trades.
yeah, they can.
Just gotta make
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
Because the exact same thing that I did, on the floor.
Now the question is gonna be when you swing a trade, how long like you can leave it that open? It can stay open until like 3 4 days.
You
Until
can
bro,
swing it until it hits your profit. You
un,
can swing it 2 3 weeks if you want to.
until this happens,
Jesus Christ.
friends.
Until it hits right here.
Until this
Which
happens, France.
your
Check this out.
ultimate tool?
Until this happens, wait, check it out. Until this happens, you see a level of resistance, and the market comes right
Mhm.
back down, breaks your floor, and retest that same floor, and then come right back down. You should already be out of this trade. You should already be out of these
Yeah.
trades right here.
You
Mhm.
would be stopped out.
Yeah, you would be stopped out. But even
You
then,
would be
I mean,
stopped
this is a 4 hour time frame. You'd be up a shit ton of pips anyway. So,
out. Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
yo, hey guys,
All
listen,
these floors.
listen, yo,
There's so
Victor.
many ways to be involved. Go ahead.
My bad, dude. It's just I gotta go pick up some employees and take them to work, bro. Like it's some shit.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go ahead and jump in. Let's do Sunday. We'll pick a time. We'll
All
see
right.
this religiously.
I mean, unless you guys want to get on with Victor after this, I mean, I'm just gonna get off. I'm gonna stop recording it. But hopefully this webinar, I'm gonna put it up as soon as I get home, and then it'll be on the website. You guys can all check it out. You guys all have access to it. And
I
if you-
I can tell that the market this week was crazy.
yeah, for sure.
And tomorrow Canadian have a big new. I don't know if you remember, like a month ago, when by 8 9 in the morning. I don't know if everybody remember. Was like going up. I think that new is gonna be a high impact, but we'll see what's gonna happen for a Canadian dollar tomorrow.
I think it's gonna be weak, so I don't want to. That's why I'm not going. I'm not gonna short the GBP cap.
Yeah.
Although it's a regular, when I took it out, I was like, you know what? I'll take. That's what it goes back to what we talked about, Steve. Like, dude, I'm already 30 pips in profit, and I mean, it has the potential to do from 165 to 163. I mean, you're looking at 400 pips, but you know what? I don't want to take the risk because
yeah.
for the high impact news is gonna make a difference. So we'll just leave it at that. Good webinar. Hopefully, if you guys want, we can do something Sunday. We'll do the market outlook and send it out. That way, just like I did last week, so you guys know what's happening and what we're looking at, what we're thinking. And then one more thing I want to say is, before you go into a trade, go ahead and post it in the WhatsApp. Use it as a tool because that's what essentially that's what the chat is, the group chat. It is a tool for you guys to use because there's so many of us, right? That we all have different eyes. I mean, 10 pair of eyes is better than
Yeah,
one.
I wanna show something that they working.
Do that,
I wanna show something that they working on.
Yeah, absolutely. What I want you guys to do is, screenshot whatever it is.
Okay.
Let's say you're gonna get into GBP cap. Say, hey, I'm looking to short this pair, and here's why. Because I think this and this doesn't have to be long, crazy, and then me or Ariel will get to it. Somebody else, if you guys have the chance, hey, I think I agree with your content, or hey, I have it going this way. Here's why. Use it as a tool, guys. It's only gonna help you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in my case, I got like almost a month just to study like 3 pairs, and something that I figure out is after you be with the same pair all the time, is like you realize and you can read the pair. Like in my case, I be married with USD, JPY, GBP, USD, and Euro dollar. That's my 3 pairs, and like I just trade those. For be honest.
Yeah, dude, that's I
I be married with them. Like I got on the spot. Like
Harry said it did.
I can
Like, I'm
read
out.
them.
Yeah, Eric, hey, we'll go ahead, guys. We'll go ahead and wrap this up.
I gotta head out. Like they're waiting on me outside. It's cold as shit, and they're waiting. I told them
Ariel.
10:20.
It's all right,
Awesome.
I got, bro. No, trust me. I got 3 girl employees that need a ride, and I told them I was like, yo, I can pick you guys up because apparently their car ain't working, and they gotta be there by 11. So I gotta head out.
It's on back
Uh,
in the street.
I know
But
what you're
yo,
trying to do.
hey, nah, fuck you. Listen, but Victor's a host. If you want to continue the webinar, go ahead, man.
I actually I gotta go. If not, I would do it. Ariel,
We see you Sunday. Sunday. I working on. Oh, look at you,
tomorrow,
Steven.
let's work on the website tomorrow.
I'm
All
down.
right? Go ahead and maybe we jump on a webinar tomorrow morning, guys.
Well,
Have
check
a
this
good
out.
night.
Check this out, Victor. Actually, I'm gonna go drop him off, and I'm gonna come right back home because I don't have to be at work till 2 a.m. So if you guys are still up,
really?
yeah, I can come right back up.
What time is it over there?
It's 10:12 right now.
Okay, so just 1 hour. All right, cool. So go ahead and shoot me a text. I gotta make dinner. the lady.
All right, cool.
Later.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Oh
See
shit,
you
I
later.
gotta cut out the girl portion of the fucking vid. God damn it.